بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Hello my esteemed students and have good time. Today we will talk about climate and settlement in lesson number 9. Let's practice the first exercise, number A. Work in pairs. Discuss what you remember from lesson 8 about why people live near sources of water. So my students, can you remember why people live near sources of water? Yes, let's talk. If you remember that people need water to live and to grow their crops. So here in this case they have to settle down near the sources of water. They need water to grow their crops. They need water to drink, to wash in it. Yeah. Number B. Work in pairs. Answer the questions. Number 1. What is the difference between weather and climate? Number 2. The graphs below show information on the climate in Cairo, London, Palermo, and Singapore. Which climatic region does each graph represent? Number 3. Write the name of the city above the correct graph. Give reasons for your choices. Let's answer the first question. What's the difference between weather and climate? If you remember, my students, that we have differentiated between climate and weather, and I had mentioned them earlier when I had said climate is the average weather conditions of a place or region affected by latitude, oceans, relative continental position, the place. Whereas on the other hand, weather is temporary conditions in the atmosphere. Weather is temporary conditions in the atmosphere. Now, number 2. The graphs show information in the climate in Cairo, London, Palermo, and Singapore. Which climatic region does each graph represent? They represent Singapore, London, Cairo, and Palermo. So, first Singapore, then London, Cairo, and Palermo. Number 3. Write the name of the city above the correct graph. Give reasons for your choices. Singapore, number 1, because it's tropical and it's on the equator. London, temperature 51 degrees north, influenced by the Atlantic Ocean. Cairo, desert, 30 degrees north, continental position, far from the ocean. Palermo, Mediterranean, 34, it's on an island in the Mediterranean Sea. You can check your answers and compare them with these answers. Now let's do these exercises this exercise number C is so important. Look again at the graphs, then complete the text using the words in the books. Here we have 12 words. They are water cycle, tropical, equator, temperate, rainfall, highest, Mediterranean, desert, vegetation, monthly, temperature, and rain. All of these words must be put in the spaces. Let's read and put them in the correct space. The graphs show monthly averages for temperature and rainfall. The 4 climates represented are desert, Cairo, Mediterranean, Palermo, tropical, Singapore, and temperate, London. We know that the highest temperatures are found nearest the equator. We also know that the water cycle produces most rain where it's hot and there is surface water, vegetation, and mountains. Finally, we can note how climate affects where people choose to live. I want to read it again to comprehend it. The graphs show monthly averages for temperature and rainfall. The 4 climates represented are desert in Cairo, Mediterranean in Palermo, tropical in Singapore, and temperate in London. We know that the highest temperatures are found nearest the equator. We also know that the water cycle produces most rain where it's hot and there is surface water, vegetation, and mountains. Finally, we can note how climate affects where people choose to live. Now you can see the answers. They are not clear. I'm so sorry. But you can read them. Monthly, temperature, rainfall, desert, Mediterranean, tropical, temperate, highest, equator, water cycle, rain, and vegetation. Let's do exercise number D. Read the following description, then complete each column with an adjective from the text. Our climate. There are mild, moist winters. Strong winds bring some rain from the west. There are hot, dry summers. When the gale blows across the Sahara from the south, it creates dust storms and quickly affects the humidity. Temperatures in Tripoli can reach 30 degrees Celsius. Annual rainfall is about 400 millimeters. There are pastures for sheep and goats, and with the help of irrigation, olives, grapes, vegetables, and fruit grow in the fields. Here, if we look to the first column, we can see daily, monthly, so we put annual. Annual means every year. The second column contains warm, hot, so we can put at the top cold. Then the third one, dry and wet, we can put in the middle moist. The first column describes the time. The second one describes the temperature. And the third one describes the atmosphere around us. Daily, monthly, annual. Cold, warm, hot. Dry, moist, and wet. Exercise number E. Cover the text in exercise number D. Then complete each of these sentences. Check your answers in the text. Number 1. Temperatures can space 30 degrees Celsius. Yes, here temperatures can reach 30 degrees Celsius. Number 2. The Ghibli can create storms. What kind of storms here we are talking about? Yes, sand or dust storms. So the sentence becomes, the Ghibli can create dust storms. Dust storms. The heavy rainfall means that there are pastures for sheep and goats. There are pastures for sheep and goats. Here are the answers. And by doing this exercise and the previous exercises, we can conclude our lesson. And finally, have a good time. Don't waste your time at all. Goodbye.